Alright, so now that you know the basic strategy for answering the short answer question type, now I want to show you a genuine exam question, and I want to do this for you as you would do this in the exam itself. So here is our reading passage, and this reading passage comes from the Cambridge IELTS book, book number 9, test number 2, and this here is reading passage number 1. So these questions you can expect to be easy. So these short answer questions, you can expect them to be easy since they come from reading passage number 1. In the next video, I'm going to be doing a practice question from reading passage number 3 so that you'll get a sense of the different levels of difficulty that you may see with this question type. Alright, so here we go. We're going to start off by going straight down to the questions. So I'm going to scroll right down to the questions here. We have to answer questions from 7 to 10. And the first thing you need to do is always make sure that you know how long your answer has to be. In this case, we can write no more than 2 words or a number or a number. So it tells you right here that the number is also an acceptable answer. But not 2 numbers, only a number. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do here after reading the directions is we're going to be highlighting, underlining, circling our keywords. So I'm going to do that with my highlighter here. Let's go ahead and take a look at what are the keywords. Now, in general, it can be helpful to actually know what the general article is about, what it's going to be talking about. In this case, we don't have a title for this reading passage. Some reading passages are going to have a title, so that way you can know exactly what this reading passage is going to be about. For example, let's say that if the reading passage is going to be about spaceships, then you know that the whole article deals with spaceships. That means that spaceship, the word spaceship, is not a keyword. It's not a keyword because it does not really help us to locate the answers. It's a useless keyword. It's a repetitive keyword. Therefore, we would not use such a keyword since the entire article is on that subject. But in this case, we don't know exactly what this article is about without actually reading the content itself. We don't have a title here, so we don't know what it's about. So we're not going to bother with that. We're not going to bother with reading any of this. We're just going to go straight down to the questions and then try to find the keywords that we think are the keywords to the best of our ability. Alright, so in this case, let's try to identify our keywords. I'm going to be marking them with my highlighter. The first thing we are looking for is a period, a certain period of time, something to do with hearing loss, school children, that's another keyword, it's a noun. Studied, something about studying, that's a verb. Well, take a look at that. New Zealand, that's going to be really easy to find. That's a proper noun. We love proper nouns. They are very easy to find in the reading passage because the letters, the first letter is capitalized, and that really helps out. Now, for the next one, machinery, noise, type of noise, so more of noise, something about upsetting children, autism. Autism should be much more easy to find in comparison to the rest of these keywords, but we'll see how that plays out. Okay, now here, something about a term, description, hearing problems, school children, and something about diagnosis. I'm not gonna underline that. I think that this is enough for us to find out the answer. Number 10, what part of the New Zealand disability strategy? And again, another proper noun. It seems that this is the name of an organization. So that's all we're gonna need over here. Perhaps something about equal opportunity for children, we can mark that as well. Great. So now that we have the keywords, I quickly also want to underline certain parts of the question to emphasize the fact to you that we are looking for very specific information when it comes to short answer questions. So what specific information are we looking for in number 7? Well, in number 7, we are looking for a period of time. It's a certain period of time that we are looking for, a specific period of time. Here, we are looking for a type of noise. That's the specific information that we are looking for in number 8, the type of noise that can upset children. For number 9, we are looking for a term, what term is used, and finally, for number 10, we are looking for a certain part. So this is going to be a noun. Our answer is going to be a noun. Matter of fact, it seems that for number 8, 9, and 10, our answer is going to be a noun. And then for number 7, this could be a noun. It could also be some sort of a number, since we're talking about a period of time. So we'll find out what that is very soon. Great. So I hope that this makes sense to you so far. We have highlighted our keywords and we have underlined certain parts of the question that are asking for the specific information. This way we know exactly what specific information we're going to be searching for in our reading passage. The last thing to identify is which are going to be the easiest questions out of these. So which are going to be the easiest keywords and which questions do we want to answer first? So I like to do that by putting a check mark next to the easy ones. I already told you that number 7 is going to be easy to find because New Zealand is a proper noun. Where else do we have a proper noun? Number 10, New Zealand Disability Strategy. So that's another proper noun, also going to be very easy for us to find. Great. So I'm now going to leave number 8 and 9. We're not going to worry about that just yet. I'm going to go straight to answering question number 7 first, and then I'm going to answer number 10. So we're looking for New Zealand. Let's go ahead and look for New Zealand. And while we search for this keyword New Zealand, I'm also going to be keeping these other keywords in mind. I want to have these other keywords in the back of my mind so that when I see them in the reading passage, I can mark them. Okay? So it's not like I'm only looking for New Zealand. My mind is also open to these other keywords. I'm not trying to remember these other keywords. I'm just kind of reading them, glancing over them, and just having that in the back of my mind. I'm not trying to remember it. I'm just trying to have it in the back of my mind as a casual memory. You can think of it as something casual. So let's go ahead and look for New Zealand and something to do with period of time. So we're going to start off right here and we are going to start scanning. Okay, something about New Zealand Ministry of Health. And look at that, decades. So it seems to be talking about a period of time. So here we have our keyword, New Zealand. And here we have, it says 2 decades, that is talking about a period of time. So I want to read this sentence. It seems to be the sentence where our answer might be located. So I want to read this sentence. I have a feeling that my answer is going to be somewhere in this sentence. So let's read it. The New Zealand Ministry of Health has found from research carried out over 2 decades that 6 to 10% of children in that country are affected by hearing loss. Are affected by hearing loss. Okay, I want to go back down to my question now and make sure that this is in fact the right spot. So let's read our question. For what period of time has hearing loss in school children been studied? Check that out, studied. That's the synonym for the word research. The word research appeared in the reading passage, and that is a synonym for studied. And studied where? In New Zealand. So that seems to be the correct answer. We are looking for, here's hearing loss, which is another one of our keywords. Hearing loss, and you might remember I mentioned the fact that study is a synonym for research. Okay, so that is where we're going to find our answer. So what this is what we call our matching sentence. The matching sentence is where we're going to find our answer. The sentence in which we're going to find our answer. So this is the matching sentence, and the correct answer is 2 decades. Because the question is asking us for a period of time, and 2 decades is a period of time. So I'm going to mark that in green. That is the correct answer. And let's just go down here and fill that out. So you can either write it here and then transfer all the answers together into your answer sheet, or you can put them directly into your answer sheet, whatever works best for you. So 2 decades is our answer. I'm going to make that perhaps 12. That's better. Okay. And one more thing that we like to do, you might remember, is that after finding the answer, I like to put a little number here, number 7. So now I know that my answers to number 8, 9, and 10 are going to come after this line. Now that we have answered that, I'm now going to go straight down to number 10, and I'm going to answer that one next, since that is the second most easiest question out of all of these questions. So here, I'm looking for a certain part of the New Zealand disability strategy and something about equal opportunity, but mainly I'm looking for this keyword, New Zealand disability strategy. Let's see if we can find that. Okay, something about New Zealand, but nothing about disability strategy here. There is a bunch of mention about noise here and noise over here as well. So I know that some of the questions, actually one of these questions down here, number 8, was asking us about noise. So we're probably going to find the answer to that one somewhere in there. But I'm not focusing on that just yet. So I'm going to keep moving on, and I want to first find our keyword, which is the New Zealand disability strategy. That's what I'm looking for first and foremost. So just scanning here. We're not reading this. There we go. Do you see how useless it is to actually read this passage? There's absolutely no need for you to read these sentences. The point is actually to locate the correct spot where you're going to find your answer. That's all we care about. So don't worry about reading any of this stuff. So New Zealand disability strategy, we found our keyword, and you might remember that we were also looking for something related to equal opportunity and a certain part of this program or this agency. So something about a part. Let's see if we can find that. Something about part, something about equal opportunity. So New Zealand disability strategy appears here as well. There we go, equal opportunities. That is another one of our keywords. Great. So I haven't found anything about part being mentioned just yet. I found New Zealand disability strategy and equal opportunities, and you might remember that these are 2 of our keywords, New Zealand disability strategy and equal opportunity. So we found that, and I'm pretty sure that that is going to be our matching sentence. Now, all we are looking for is what is the part of this agency or this program that aims to give school children equal opportunity. What is the part? What is it called? So Let's see what that is. I'm going to start reading this part here. I want to read this sentence because in this sentence, we have the keyword New Zealand disability strategy, and we also have our other keyword equal opportunities. So honestly, I think that this is going to be our matching sentence. I think that we're going to find our answer somewhere around here. So I'm going to underline that part, and let's go ahead and read this. Objective 3 of the New Zealand Disability Strategy is to provide the best education for disabled people by improving education so that all children, youth learners, and adult learners will have equal opportunities. All right, do you see the answer? I already see it. So we have to find the part that is helping young learners and children and adult learners to have equal opportunities. What is that part called? It's right here, Objective 3. That is the name of the part. So our answer is Objective 3. And this was our answer to question number 10. So I'm going to put number 10 right there. We're going to scroll down and we are going to answer number 10 by saying Objective 3. Objective 3 is the correct answer to number 10. So now that we are done with this, we know that the answers to number 8 and number 9 are going to be found somewhere in between the answers to number 10 and number 7. So number 7 was up here, number 10 is down here. That means the answers to number 8 and 9 have got to be somewhere in between these two answers. Okay, somewhere in there. So let's go ahead and just do what we always do. We're going to start off by looking for our keywords. So right now we're looking for keywords related to noise, machinery noise, types of noise, and also not just any noise, noise that can upset children. And again, not just any children, but children with autism. So those are our keywords: noise, children, autism. Let's see if we can find that. So we're going to start scanning from here. We are looking for noise, children, and autism. Okay, see something about children here. Something about voice, but not noise. Noise is different. Something about noise here. Something about children here. I'm going to put these in yellow, by the way, since these are keywords and not the answers. I like to put the answers in green and the keywords in yellow, just so that you can identify them easily. Okay, so we are looking also for something related to autism. I haven't found anything about autism just yet. More stuff about noise here, effects of noise. Something about children. Okay, something about autism is down here. More autism stuff here. Okay, something about noise. More noise. Again, something about autism, something about a child or children. And it seems to me that we're going to find our answer over here. The reason is that we found all the keywords over here. We found the keywords autism, noise, and child or children. So we know that this is a paragraph related to autism and children. So let's go back to our question and make sure that we are sure about what is the specific information that we are looking for. So let's read this question one more time. In addition to machinery noise, what other type of noise can upset children with autism? Okay, so the question is saying that we know that machinery noise upsets children with autism, but what is another type of noise other than machinery noise that can also upset children? So what we're going to do is I'm going to start reading by I want to start by reading this sentence here, because this is the sentence that contains two keywords here, and then I might read the next sentence as well. But let's see. Here we go. Those experiencing these disorders often find sounds such as crowd noise and the noise generated by machinery painful and distressing. There we go, guys. That is our matching sentence, and we have found our answer. Do you see the answer yet? Take a moment to guess. So we know that machinery noise causes distress to children, but what other noise? Right here. Crowd noise. Crowd noise is the correct answer. So now that we have the answer to number 8, we're going to put number 8 right here. And I'm going to scroll down to number 8, and we are going to put the answer right here. So the correct answer is crowd. You can either put crowd, you can also put noise. Both of them are going to be the correct answer. So you can either put crowd as the answer, or you can put crowd noise as the answer. Both of them will be correct in this case. Great. Now we have to do our final question, number 9. So number 9, let's read that question. What term is used to describe the hearing problems of school children which have not been diagnosed? Okay, so we are looking for some special terminology. It's going to be a noun for sure, because it's a certain terminology that we're looking for. And this is a terminology that describes the hearing problems of school children. So not just any school children who have not been diagnosed. So let's go ahead and look for those keywords. Term, hearing problems, and school children. Diagnosed might be another keyword. We'll keep an eye open for that one as well. Let's see if we can find these. So we found the answer to number 8 over here. So we know that the answer to number 9 has to be somewhere in here between number 8 and the answer to number 10, since short answer questions always go in order. So let's start scanning from over here. So mainly we are looking for a term that describes hearing problems. What term describes hearing problems? So I see something about difficulties, but nothing about hearing. I see something about hearing difficulties here. It says auditory function deficit. And it is also talking about children, which is synonym for school children. So that seems to be possibly the place where we might find our answer. But we have to keep going. I want to see if there is any other keyword that we can find. We are specifically looking for a term, remember? Again, there's a mention of auditory function deficit here. Oh, check that out. Many undiagnosed children. Remember, the question asked us about undiagnosed children. So I'm pretty sure that we're going to find our answer in this paragraph, and more specifically, we're probably going to find our answer down here somewhere. So I want to start by reading this sentence first, since this is where we have our keyword auditory function deficit. We could also start up here, but I don't think that we're going to find our answer up here, because up here we don't have this keyword, undiagnosed children. So that is a keyword that indicates that the answer is going to be somewhere around here. So that's why I've chosen to start reading from down here. In particular, The effects of noisy classrooms and activities on those experiencing disabilities in the form of auditory function deficit need thorough investigation. Okay, so we know that we are talking about children who are in classrooms. So in other words, we are talking about school children, and we are talking about school children who are having hearing problems. We know that because the passage says experiencing disabilities in the form of auditory function deficit. That's just a complicated way, a fancy way of saying hearing problems. Children who are experiencing hearing problems, hearing disabilities. So I haven't found my answer here. I'm looking for a very specific term. Remember, we are looking for a term that is used to describe the hearing problems. What is the term that is used to describe the hearing problems? So let's go ahead and read the next sentence. It is probable that many undiagnosed children exist in the education system with invisible disabilities. Actually, I think that is our answer right there. Invisible disabilities. See, what they are doing is that they are saying that it is highly likely that many children who are not diagnosed, they still exist in the education system with so-called invisible disabilities, meaning that there are disabilities that we don't know very much about, or perhaps they're invisible, we don't know about them for some reason, and this seems to be a terminology. So that is going to be our answer for this one. This one was a little bit harder to spot, a little bit harder to identify. So this is something to be expected. So be extra careful about paying attention to synonym language like this, especially with reading passages number 2 and number 3, because sometimes the synonym language can be hidden. It can be hidden right in front of you, and it can be tricky to identify it at some points. So make sure that you are careful about searching for this type of synonym language. So invisible disabilities is going to be our answer for this one. I'm going to put that in green, and you can put number 9 here. It's really not necessary at this point because we've already solved all of the questions. So if there were more questions in here, then it might help us. But right now, we're already done. Number 9 was our final question. So you don't have to number it if you don't want to. So I'm going to put my answer here. The answer is going to be invisible disabilities. That's our answer. And we are done. Congrats. We are finished with this short answer practice set number 1. And in the next video, I want to take you through another practice question. So in this video, we looked at how to answer short answer questions from reading passage number 1. This was a relatively easier question set. In the next video, I want to show you a question set from passage number 3, which is going to be a little bit more trickier. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next one.